Indigenous Prime Image Life Coaching and Indigenous Insight Seminars. I wanted to share a quick little story. I'm actually just finishing up a workshop. Everyone's gone now. I'm all done. AMC Youth Conference, their first annual, so it was great. Spoke to some great kids today. Some young people from First Nation communities in northern Manitoba. So we were talking about workplace etiquette. And so it was fun sharing with them a bunch of experiences that I had, and also sharing with them some of the work that I'm doing, including my Indigenous Insight seminars. And I thought it was important to connect with them to let them know that this is kind of the work that's going on in the city. These are the conversations that we're having here in the city. And ultimately my goal is to create employment for youth and try to create as many of those connections as I can. That's something that I'm really passionate about. When I was in high school in Winnipeg, I had an opportunity I got a job through a program. It was the Lieutenant Governor's Youth Experience Program, and I got a job with Central Gas, which eventually became Manitoba Hydro. And it was an interesting opportunity for me, and in a lot of the work that I do, I think about, okay, how can I utilize that experience in creating more employment for more young people? And what this program did for me is they gave me a job, and I ended up working with Manitoba Hydro, which of course bought Central Gas, and I worked with them for 9 years, and I gained lots and lots of skills, and all they did was give me a job. And I keep thinking about all of these youth. We talk about all of these young people and the fastest growing population in Canada, and what can we do about reconciliation? Give them a job. That's my response. So with regards to reconciliation and people wondering, what can we do? How can we be a part of this? What do we not know? Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm holding the Indigenous Insight Seminars. That's happening March 22nd on my Jessica Dumas Indigenous Insights page. You can find registration. It's $159 for a day. Includes lunch, so you don't have to go anywhere. And we talk about some of the policies and some of the history between Indigenous people and the Canadian government, and talk about why that's an issue, or what those issues are, and the Indian Act, and residential schools, and the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, and have lots of great conversations and really important and valuable discussions on that day, so that you can know, you have a better understanding of what you want to do for reconciliation. And so I wanted to share that, but I also wanted to share when in 2005, 2006, after I lost my brother Matthew, I started to get involved in working with and learning about First Nation communities. I didn't know that as a child. It wasn't something that I knew anything about. Didn't know about any reserve connections and that sort of thing. And so my first time as an adult in a Chiefs Summit, it's while the Chiefs gathering for their meetings. Open up with a grand entry. The Chiefs walk around the room to do a complete circle before they start their meeting. And I couldn't believe that I saw a chief in a headdress. I didn't know that chiefs still wore headdresses. And I was really embarrassed that I didn't know that. And so I started asking a lot of questions, I needed to learn, why didn't I know this? Why am I embarrassed? But I realized that there were many systems in place and many policies in place so that I wouldn't know those things. And that's where I started to learn and to get some more information and not be embarrassed anymore. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my family's fault that I didn't know this. So lots of really valuable lessons, and I try to share that in everything that I do with my workshop. So I encourage you, if you have questions, if you want to know where do you fit in reconciliation, you don't know where to start, taking some training and getting some education is one of the things that you can do. So Indigenous Insight Seminars, Jessica Dumas, March 22nd is my website, or is the date. You can also find more information about me at jessicadumas.com. And thank you very much for listening, and I hope that I see you at my event. Thank you. Take care.